For the record, Chrexit, Christian Horner's exit from Red Bull, has been ratified. All that is left now is to get it done. We will set out some of the key terms and conditions of Chrexit in this video, but before doing that, we invite those of you who haven't yet done so, to like, comment, share, subscribe and click the notification icon, to be notified when the next video is uploaded. Now, as far as Chrexit is concerned, it has been publicly reported in Europe that Red Bull's CEO, Oliver Mintzlaff, had wanted to sack Horner as far back as February 2nd. This was 3 days before the news of Fiona's complaint broke, and the independent counsel was appointed. It was reported then that the press release had already been prepared, but Horner resisted and the process was mothballed. Since then, the pressure to get Chrexit done started to increase. Women's activist groups in the USA, Red Bull's key market, started to push for a boycott. This has caused the majority shareholder and friend of Mrs. Horner, who had hitherto been resisting calls to sack Mr. Horner, to change his mind. This was the outcome from the Dubai shareholder meeting that was held the day after the Jeddah race. To follow the British media, one would be forgiven for thinking that Christian Horner was the one most likely to prevail, and it was the trio of Max Verstappen, his father and his longtime mentor, Helmut Marko, whose collective exits are being negotiated. However, it would appear that, despite the collective gaslighting by the British media, there is an expectation that Chrexit will be done before the next Grand Prix in Australia. Poignantly, there is the provision that Chrexit could be done before Australia, if Fiona decides to go public before then. She has switched lawyers and notified her intention to appeal the decision to dismiss her allegations and institute legal proceedings. In any event, Fiona going public will force Red Bull to bring Chrexit forward. Red Bull are also under pressure from partners, sponsors, team principals, and non-UK media to publish the findings of their report which dismissed Fiona's allegations. This is obviously something that Red Bull cannot afford to do, and Horner's sacking would alleviate that pressure. It is quite clear from European media reports that the European trio of the Verstappens and Marko are united against Horner, yet the British media are representing that Max is somewhat neutral and just focusing on racing. So, how is it that the British media are unaware of reports that Max kicked Christian off his plane for the journey back from Jeddah to make way for Helmut, and Christian and his wife were then forced to make alternate arrangements? The Brexit-like gulf between the UK and Europe in the coverage of Chrexit is something to behold, and we invite you to proffer your opinions on why this is so, in the comments section. Why is the British media siding with Christian over Fiona? It's not as if Hewittson is a burqa-wearing Islamist migrant. In fact, the Hewitzons have deeper British roots than the Horners. Surely, it can't be down to gender. The British media's defense of Horner is so robust that one can't help but wonder where all this energy was when Sir Lewis was being robbed by the Europeans in Abu Dhabi in 2021. Surely, it can't be because of race. Why does the British media side with Christian Horner over his British victims? Answers in the comments section if you please. What is clear is that the pressure for Horner's sacking is so overwhelming that Red Bull have had to put out statements denying those reports, which are coming out predominantly in Europe. Ironically, the British media are then disingenuously portraying those statements as evidence of strong support for Christian, when everybody knows what getting the dreaded public vote of confidence means. Anyway, who cares about 2 boring race victories for Red Bull when they are providing so much entertainment off track? We are hopeful that Christian will be able to drag Chrexit out for as long as possible, so we can enjoy the twists and turns. What about you? When do you think Chrexit will be done?